And lastly, in tonight's 7 on Your Sideline report, former Smashing Pumpkins frontman Billy Corgan has a new venture, wrestling. He started a league here in Chicago, and he had auditions, and as you could see, I gave it a shot to see if I made the grade. That is coming up in our next half hour. Don't get your hopes up.
And what happens when you mix Smashing Pumpkins, wrestling, and Rafer Weigel all together? An entertaining version of 7 on Your Sideline coming up. Stay with us. Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and anchorman Rafer Weigel. We will explain coming up on tonight's 7 on Your Sideline report.
All right, changing gears. Former Smashing Pumpkins Billy Corgan has started a pro wrestling league here in Chicago called Resistance Pro. He recently held American Idol-like auditions, and I threw my hat into the ring, and that is the subject of tonight's 7 on Your Sideline report. Why wrestling?
You know, wrestling, I think, is one of those things where at its core, it's really about entertaining the fan, and it's about having a good time. Wrestling is always at the forefront addressing social issues, and intelligently done can be very entertaining, very fun. When it's bad, it's bad, but when it's great, it's actually pretty fun.
Some would argue if it's staged, does that decrease its appeal in any way?
No, I don't think the staged aspects of wrestling decrease its appeal, because it doesn't decrease the appeal of movies. It doesn't decrease the appeal of live theater. It's just a very particular live form of theater. It's very nuanced in many ways. It came out of the carnivals and circuses, and I think that's the best way to understand it. It's about figuring out how to take somebody who has no interest in something and getting them to be emotionally passionate about the outcome.
So what does it take to be a pro wrestler in your eyes?
You know, the incredible thing about wrestling is that you have to have two things if you really want to be successful. First of all, you have to have the physical ability and the willingness to withstand the punishment, because even though, yes, it's fake, they take a tremendous amount of punishment. But secondarily, you have to have a kind of an it quality charisma. And you can bring 5 people through a door, and only one of them is going to have that magical thing that makes people emotionally connect with them. Sometimes it's projection. They see themselves in them. Sometimes they just hate the person. We have somebody on our roster who, the minute they open their mouth, people start to boo. And that's the beautiful thing about wrestling, is you're doing your job if they boo you a lot or they cheer you a lot. Anything in the middle, you don't want that. You don't want to hear crickets.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Anchorman. Yeah, Rafer Weigel, anchorman by day, marauder by night. I do bruise easily, but I have a cape. I ultimately think I would be a liability to your wrestling league, but I am willing to work for very, very cheap, and I really just want to meet the chicks that hang out with Billy Corgan. You're hired. Well, at least I saved the receipt. Corgan's League also wants to raise concussion awareness and be head injury free. So for more information, go to resistancepro.com.